Tonight we're exploring a surprising part of Jesus' story, the time between his death on the cross and his rising again. You might hear people say, Jesus went to hell for 3 days. That sounds scary. Why would the Son of God go to such a dark place? In the next 15 minutes, we'll walk step by step through what happened from Good Friday to Easter morning. What hell really means in the Bible. Why Jesus went there, the loving reasons behind it. What he did in that hidden realm. How his visit changes everything for us today. Picture you and me by a cozy fireplace, pages of an old storybook open before us. Let's tiptoe into this mystery with curious hearts and calm minds. Ready? Let's begin. On Good Friday, Jesus died on a wooden cross. Soldiers hammered nails through his hands and feet, and he hung between 2 thieves. Dark clouds covered the sky, and Jesus whispered, "It is finished." His friends were heartbroken. They wrapped his body in linen cloth and laid him in a tomb, a cave with a heavy stone rolled in front. Then silence. For 3 days, Jesus' body lay still. His friends hid behind locked doors, afraid the soldiers might come. Imagine sitting in a dark room for days, windows shut, hearts full of sorrow. Then, on the 3rd day, early Sunday morning, a miracle happened. Mary Magdalene and other women walked to the tomb with spices. The stone was rolled away. The tomb was empty. An angel said, "He is not here. He has risen." Joy filled their hearts. Jesus appeared to them alive again. But between Friday and Sunday, something else took place. Jesus went to a place called hell, or the realm of the dead. The Bible uses different words for the place where souls go after death. In Hebrew, the word is Sheol, a shadowy world of the dead, like an underground cave. In Greek, it's called Hades. This place isn't the fiery pit we often imagine. Instead, it's more like a waiting room. Think of it as a huge hotel lobby where every soul checks in after leaving their body. Some rooms are bright and peaceful, others are dark and sad. People sometimes say hell and picture fire and brimstone. That comes from later Bible images, where it describes a final punishment for those who keep rejecting good. But the place Jesus visited was the realm of all the dead, good and bad, before the final judgment. God's plan moves in 2 steps. First step, when we die, our spirit goes to the waiting place. Final step, at the end of time, God will judge and send people either to the new heaven and new earth or to the place of eternal separation. Jesus' visit happened in the middle, from death to resurrection. You might ask, if Jesus is God, why would he go down to Sheol? Why not rise straight up to heaven? The answer is wrapped in love and justice, to complete his saving work. When Jesus died, his body and spirit separated. His spirit went where all spirits go, into the realm of the dead. By going there, he showed he truly experienced death. He didn't skip any step to announce victory. In Sheol, many faithful people had lived and died before Jesus, people like Abraham, Moses, and King David. They waited for God's promised rescue. When Jesus arrived, he proclaimed, "I have won the victory over sin and death, to free righteous souls." Imagine a prison courtyard with locked gates. The righteous who died were like captives behind those gates, waiting for rescue. Jesus came and opened the gates, leading them out to the fullness of life, to show God's love reaches all places. Even the darkest corners of the afterlife are not beyond God's love. Jesus went everywhere love needed to go. Because of these reasons, the Bible calls Jesus the first to rise from the dead and the one who descended to the lower parts of the earth. Ephesians 4:9. The Bible tells us a few key things about Jesus' time in Sheol. Proclaiming the good news. In 1 Peter 3:19, we read that Jesus preached to the spirits in prison. He shared the news of salvation, not to force anyone, but to offer them the gift of God's forgiveness. Releasing the faithful. Some scriptures hint that Jesus led captive souls out, people whose faith looked forward to his coming. Hebrews 11, called the Hall of Faith, lists heroes who trusted God, even without seeing the promise. These souls were waiting. Jesus' arrival set them free. Defeating the power of death. Paul writes in Colossians 2:15 that Jesus disarmed the powers and authorities and made a public spectacle of them on the cross. In Sheol, that victory was shown openly. Death has no hold on him. Preparing the way to heaven. With the gates of Sheol opened, righteous souls could begin their journey to the presence of God in the new creation. Picture a bright torch in a dark tunnel. Jesus carried that torch into Sheol, lighting every corner with hope. You might wonder, what difference does Jesus' trip to Sheol make for me? It matters in three big ways. Full experience of death. Jesus felt the full weight of death, body and spirit. He knows our fears and worries. He can comfort us in our darkest moments. True victory. Because Jesus conquered death from the inside out, we know death is not the final word. Like a seed buried in the ground that sprouts new life, our bodies will rise again on the last day. Hope for all who wait. Just as righteous people waited in Sheol, believers today who die go to be with Jesus. We do not vanish. We wait in God's loving care. And one day, we will join him in the new heaven and new earth. So whenever you hear about Jesus going to hell, remember, he went there on purpose. He went there in love. He went there to bring every saved soul into the light. Dear friend, the story of Jesus in Sheol shows us how deep God's love goes, into every shadow, every sorrow, every last corner of death itself. On Easter morning, the tomb was empty. He rose. Death could not hold him. When you feel afraid of the dark or worried about saying goodbye, remember, Jesus walked through that place, called every righteous soul by name, and led them into life. He holds your hand too. So let your heart whisper back to him, "Thank you, Jesus, for going everywhere love needed to go. Thank you for turning the darkest place into the bright path to life." Close your eyes if you like. Breathe deep and imagine a light shining in the deepest cave. That is Jesus, your rescuer, lighting the way to a forever home.